It is a special 757 Saturday Sports Talk Holiday Christmas edition here. You hear us every Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon, ordinarily Eastern Time. Matt Hatfield here with you, along with the coach Ed Young, who's closing in on 500 career victories, but he's stuck at 18 wins versus 27 losses and 2 ties in our NFL picks. Week number 16, coming off a 1-2 week where he won on Cincinnati minus 3.5, rallying from 17 down against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Dallas, a loser, minus 4.5. Jacksonville prevailed in overtime, 40-34. And the Giants beating Washington 20-12, a loser because he had over 40.5. Yours truly at 25-17-3. Wins by KC, Houston over 49.5. Chiefs winning 30-24 in OT. The Packers prevailing minus the 6.5, 7.5 points, a 24-12 win over the Rams. And the Vikings minus 4.5, a loser, a 39-36 comeback win for the ages in OT against the Colts. We'll leave that alone for a lot of different reasons. But happy holidays, Ed. How are you?
I'm still not quite in the holiday mood, and I'm realizing this is Christmas Eve. I'm out and about a little bit because I needed some stuff, and man, it is jam-packed out here. To use one of your
Cold
favorite
out there,
sayings.
isn't it? It's freezing
Oh,
outside.
I'll tell you how bad cold it was. I didn't realize. I mean, I know it's windy. I know last night was pretty cold. Some people said close to zero wind temperature, wind chill temperature. Anyways, went to take the dog out this morning. He took 2 steps, turned around, and ran back in the house. And he never does that.
Our 3 dogs did the same thing, by the way. 3 dog night here in the Hatfield home after I came back from Tampa Bay, by the way, where it was not all that warm. I got in my house. I forgot to leave the heat on. It was 49 degrees in my house, which would be warm right about now, considering it's about 17 degrees outside, as it is just incredibly cold outside. But you ready to do
The
these picks in the league? Go ahead.
good thing is, my brother texted me. They had a minus 20 wind chill factor in central Pennsylvania last night. So
Oof.
obviously, I'm not making that trip up there for Christmas. They can have that.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that. Are you ready to do these picks in the league where they play for pay?
Well, we might as well, even though like I said, I'm going to go ahead and what do they call it when you try to lose on purpose? Um, so I can get the
Blow
first
it,
pick of the
blow
draft
it. Try to
next.
get the first pick. You gonna tank? Are you
Yeah,
tanking?
I'm going to tank my picks. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it might not be a bad idea. Let's give you a quick review of how Dino and AJ Risser did. Dino France and AJ Risser are producer extraordinaires on the program. Risser started out 0-5 on the year, but he is now 9-6 thanks to Detroit's +1 win in their 20-17 triumph in week number 15. So he's 9-6 on the year. Dino's in a little bit of a slump, not quite to your extent, but he had the Ravens +2.5 for the Saturday game against their AFC North rival Cleveland with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, the Bethel High grad. It was a loser. Browns won 13-3, so he's 8-6-1. So Risser's taking the Lions. He's going back to the well, Ed, -2.5 against Carolina, as Detroit could be playoff bound to the NFC. Who would have thunk it? But I don't blame him. Go back to that well when it's working for him. It did for the Titans. He's going to the Lions here to restoring that roar against Carolina.
Good pick. I mean, you said Detroit playoffs. When we say Lions and playoffs in the same sentence, it has to be fantasy football.
People are going to get dizzy because your camera's all over the place. You're upside down, sideways, but you're 7-1 in real life in high school basketball. So you can do whatever you want for Christmas because you're on a 7-game winning streak, which I'm not sure you've ever been in high school hoops going to Christmas, probably since the days of Andre Jones, Nick Wright, Mark Brown, and Quentin McDuffie, which is a long time ago. But anyhow, we moved the page to Dino's dog. Woof, we've got dogs that are not wanting to go outside in the cold. Dino's trying to get warm with his dog. He's going to take my Arizona Cardinals. That's right, Bird Gang, baby, with a Virginia native at quarterback and Trace McSorley, Briarwood's pride out of Penn State. Go get him. Go beat Tampa Bay, Brady and the Bucks. Put them out of their misery. Knock them around. +7.5 for Dino with his dog. Taking my Cards on Christmas night.
Dino must be in the cold himself.
You think he's hit the bottle early? You think he hit some eggnog early?
He might have. It might be eggnog and something else. For anybody to pick the Cardinals against anybody is, I mean, to each their own, but that's not one I would touch.
All right, so I get to go first. You get to go the next 2. I take 2. You take the last one. So for my first selection here in the 2022 holiday NFL draft, no, in our pick selection here, where am I headed? Well, believe it or not, I'm going against the Indianapolis Colts because Jeff Saturday can't coach on Saturday. He can't coach on Sunday. He shouldn't be allowed to coach on Monday night. How do you blow a 33-0 lead Chargers minus the 4. It was 4.5. It's been all over the place. I'm going to give you guys half a point, by the way, for Christmas. I'm in a holiday cheerful mood. Why not? So if you lose by half a point, I'll give you a push or a win perhaps on this deal. Give me all of you guys, you Risser, Dino. I'm going to go Chargers minus the 4 is what I'm showing. It's 4.5 in some places. So be it. If I lose, I'll take the half a point here because they should pummel the hapless, hopeless, helpless Colts who are dead in the water after last week's debacle, disaster, gag fest. Poor Matt Ryan. He's got a good first name, but he's done. It's way past done. You're up for the next two.
Give me Cincinnati. I think it's minus 2.5 over New England.
I'll give it to, well, let's see here. It's been 3 some places, but why not? I'm in the cheerful mood. You need as many half a points as you can get. This is your last holiday cheerful mood. I'll give it to you minus 2.5. Go ahead. You get it.
Give that one. Give me, in a battle of the cold elements. You talk about cold. Buffalo at Chicago. Buffalo minus 7.5. I think they know how to play in the cold.
Where are you seeing 7.5 at? I've seen 8.5.
I see 7.5 and 6.5.
No, I don't see no 6.5. I don't know where you're seeing 6.5 at.
Wait a minute. This is the one you sent me.
I'll give it to you at 7.5.
I'll take that.
You are getting all kinds of Santa gifts for Christmas here. 7.5 against the Bears. Taking Tremaine Edmonds, the Virginia native, Dan River High, Virginia Tech linebacker, helping out Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis in that Bills offense. He's playing the defense, though, hitting people at linebacker. All right, so you're going against Dino's Bears. You're going against the Patriots, who had maybe the worst play in NFL history go against them, as your Raiders got a win that's not going to put them in the playoffs, but they can remember and brag about. Tell you what, speaking of your Raiders, I'm going against them and going with Mike Tomlin, the Denby High Newport News product out of William & Mary. Got to support the 757 guys here. They're going to do this in memory of Franco Harris. You know what? I think Pittsburgh is so revved up. It's a 70s rivalry. Give me the Steelers minus the 2. It's 1.5, 2.5 places. We'll put it at 2 for right now. We'll worry about it later. Give me the Steelers minus the 2. Tomlin and company want this one bad. This one means as much to them at this point in the season, knowing they're not going to the playoffs, as much as, say, the Ravens or the Browns or the Bengals. Pittsburgh will put up a good effort, and your Raiders blow leads time and time and time again. Not in Pittsburgh. It's not going to happen. That Steeler defense will show up to play and be ready to ball out. And you know what? I think that the offense won't make as many mistakes. Derek Carr's had some picks lately, so give me Pittsburgh minus 2 for my second choice. And for my last pick, I look at these over-unders really, 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 really hard. I like the KC Seattle over a lot. I like the Arizona Tampa under a lot. But I'm going to I left my heart in San Francisco. And sorry, ODU fans, I think this is the last stand for Taylor Heineke. Niners and Commanders. The over-under I'm showing is 37.5 in some places. Is that what you're showing, Ed? For Niners, Commanders over-under? I think that's what I got.
What'd you say it was? 39?
37.5. You got 39?
No, 37.5. You're right, 37.5.
Okay. I'm going to go with under the total. People have told me, well, the Niners might score 31 points. I said, sure, but I'm not sure Washington will score more than 6. I think they are done here against the San Francisco defense too much. Give me under 37.5 for San Fran and Washington, the third and final selection for me to go with Chargers minus 4 and Steelers minus 2. So I take a little NFC to go with the AFC flavor. You've got 2 AFC flavors right now with Cincy, Buffalo. Are you going NFC here or are you going AFC?
You got me wondering about overs and unders. I wasn't even thinking about that for this week because I like Cleveland over New Orleans. But I looked at Pittsburgh and the Raiders, which I didn't want to touch the game. You took it. But I have a total of 38.5. Over under 38.5. It's going to be close to 0, if not colder in Pittsburgh. Don't think the Raiders will score much. I don't know if Pittsburgh will. I can look at that game being maybe a 25, 30-point game. I'm going to go under Pittsburgh, Vegas, under 38.5.
All right, so that's Ed's last selection, under 38.5. Steelers, Raiders, Buffalo minus 7.5, Bengals minus 2.5 to go with my choices of Chargers minus 4, Pittsburgh minus 2, under 37.5 for San Fran, Washington. AJ Richards got the Lions minus the 2.5, and Dino with the Cardinals plus the 7.5. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everyone out there. Make sure you tune in when the new year starts in January on Saturdays, 10 a.m. to noon to 757 Saturday Sports Talk. brought to you by Larry King Law on ESPN Radio 94.1, ESPN Radio 941.com as well. And Ed, you'll take a winning streak into the new year, but we'll do one more video segment episode next week for the New Year's Eve edition, as I'm sure you'll be hitting the punch bowl hard.
I'm going to have a very the chillest ever Christmas I've ever had. But I've got to make up for it on New Year's Eve, so we better do that show early. Now, I'm not a drinker, so I ain't worried about hitting the eggnog or a little bit of New Year's cheer. But
said punch bowl, punch is not bad.
As long as nobody spikes it, because I know you have a tendency to walk by with a bottle in your pocket and drop it in the punch bowl. So, pour it in the punch bowls. We'll see. But I wish everybody out there a tremendous Christmas holiday spirit. Stay warm, and hats off to my ball club, my young ball club. Yeah, we did get 7 in a row, and we'll take it. No way I thought we'd be 7-1 at this point, but we'll definitely take it. Some really, really tough games coming up in the month of January.
That is the coach, Ed Young. I'm Matt Hatfield. Make sure you tune in every Saturday, 10 a.m. to noon on ESPN Radio 941.com and ESPN Radio 94.1. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. We'll talk to you again soon.